I am here with a South African foodie specialist, and she's going to teach me the way of South African food, what South African food is. I don't know if she knows the history of it, but here she is.
I don't know if I'm the food specialist.
What is today?
I'll teach you what I know. So Marcos does like a lot of Xhosa traditional food specifically. So it's not like just any South African tribes, it's mostly Xhosa food. And we ordered usmali, which we call intloko.
She bringing it on sheep's head?
That's the sheep's head.
She bringing it with the head?
Yes, she's bringing it with the head.
With the heliante, with the helion.
The half, or you can have the whole thing. We ordered a half.
Okay, bet.
Then we're having some tripe,
Yay.
which we call ulusu, which is insides, basically. And then we're having some, what else did we order? Chicken stew, which is like very traditional chicken stew, like how we make it. Which is, it's pretty simple, like with some onions and like a little bit, not too spicy.
Yeah.
Just like very clean.
Okay.
And oxtail. That's on the meats. Tell you how a lot of the times our meals are prepared is that there'll always be like a function or an event and you're slaughtering the animal and preparing it same day. So traditionally you would like slaughter the sheep, right? And when you slaughter and you skin it off the fur and whatever, you hang the meat so that it like dries out a little bit. And then you use all the different parts. So you take the tripe and you prepare it to be eaten first. Then you take the head and you prepare that. Do you get what I mean? So like, we never leave any part of the animal not utilized. So that's why then you'll eat trotters on a different day, you'll eat the head on a different day, you'll eat the insides, you'll eat then the body of the thing.
Yeah. That like, in certain villages, you were, I was actually told this yesterday, I think. In certain villages, you are, the women are expected to kind of like know how to cook over an open fire.
Yeah.
So with that open fire, it's like a lot of times it's like slow cooking because you're putting it all in the pot and it's all just kind of like marinating and cooking from there. And that was like a thing, like, you know, especially like, I don't know like which tribe, it might be all of them, but it's like you need to know how to cook and you cook over an open fire. And a lot of those come with like stews and everything like that. That's what I was told.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
But then I would ask you the same question, like before we had electricity, how did you guys cook anything?
On an open fire. But I think like,
Wouldn't it be slow?
nah, I think a lot of times it kind of may be slow, but I don't know. Like I think stews is very much so like in like an indigenous cultural thing. You know, like put all that shit in like one pot or whatever, and then like West Africa has a lot of stews. Out here, I'm realizing that y'all got a lot of stews as well. To some extent, like Ethiopia, like East Africa, a lot of stews. You know, like I would say maybe not. I don't know about stews much in Kenya, but like stew, like or even think about like. You know, you got Cape Malay and stuff, right? You got Indian people, like a lot of stews, a lot of curries. So it's always kind of like this stew based. And maybe it's something that like South Africans just like, how do I say it? Like they just like owned it, you know, like, yeah,
I think the person that gave you the reference of like cooking over the open fire was probably the most accurate. Because if I go to the village, a lot of people don't have electricity. We do cook outside. Like I'm telling you, like if we have an event, a wedding or umgidi or whatever the case may be, a lot of the cooking is done outside on the three-legged pot.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Because like if you don't do like what I learned, I was watching like these barbecue shows, and like what I learned is like when you do like an open fire, a lot of times you're cooking the meat using like the smoke. You're you know, or you put it in a pot with liquid and you're kind of like slow cooking it. But if you like try to cook anything with like fire and try to make it very quickly, you're gonna burn it. You know, you're gonna burn it.
Yeah.
So it's like I think a lot, but I think that's what I'm saying. I think a lot of indigenous cultures, especially like think about like back then, not necessarily like having salt, or maybe you did have salt, but like you had like there was no oil like that, right? To just be like, let me fry this shit. So like I think that's how a lot of stews exactly.
And then get,
Exactly. So I feel like all of that kind of boils down to like just this like stew culture. But let me, I'm gonna Google. Let me see.
Your girl doesn't know how to cook outside.
Shame. Shame.
She don't know how to cook. She not South African.
I know how to cook outside.
Hold
and
on.
I can't.
South African food. I remember asking my friend who's South African, I'm like, what is South African food? And I felt like she had such a hard time like describing it to me because like even out here, I'm so surprised with the German influence. I'm kind of annoyed by it, but I'm also just more so surprised because I'm like, damn, why so many sausages? Why so many like, you know, but it makes sense. You got German settlers, so you got the sausages. Indian and Malaysian is what got me out here. Wow. Like, I didn't know that the slave trade had a lot of Indian and Malaysian people. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you end up having that whole like Cape Malay culture come into the food and everything.
That's like a very Cape Townian thing. Like that's something very unique to the Western Cape because like because of the way apartheid was set up, there was also like the zoning culture. Mm-hmm. So if you leave the Western Cape and you go to the Eastern Cape, which is where a lot of the Xhosa people are from, you're not gonna get a lot of Malay, curry, because that's not where they're settled. Yeah. It's going to be a lot of traditional Xhosa everything, like magwinya, ntloko, trotters, tripe, and that's like available like everywhere. Shisanyama, everything. Yeah. And then if you go to KZN, which is where Durban is, you'll get a lot of Indian influence. And that's where like the Indian style of curries and cooking, etc. is. Mm-hmm. And then the Western Cape is like the Cape Malay impact and influence. And then Johannesburg is just like mixed because Johannesburg was never supposed to be a place. Mm-hmm. It was like more so like a business hub and like all the cultures left where they were to go make money. Yeah. So Johannesburg is like this major melting pot of like so many different cultures.
But that's the thing that I feel like interests me about South Africa a lot. I feel like South Africa, due to colonization, due to the location of it, due to it's the first country I've been in Africa where I feel like, yo, this is really like a real melting pot. Yeah. Like Kenya kind of was because I was like, damn, there was so many Indian people. It was like a lot of Ethiopians, a lot of Somalians. So, you know, I don't really see those, but it makes sense geographically. But here, because of like the whole colonization, it's like, yo, y'all really have like the craziest mix of influence from Dutch food to German to Malaysian to Indian to like indigenous people that's, you know, from the South African land to I don't know who else, you know what I'm saying? Like it's so much.
Even when you mention like how we still have so much influence on like European food types, I think South Africa is one of the countries that gained independence the latest out of most of the African countries. So it's like when we have such a young democracy, there's a huge population of said settlers that were here for a long time. And that food culture that they brought in is like super integrated. Like you're talking about how, oh, you guys like a lot of milks and creams and like milky alcohols and whatever. That's a Dutch thing. Yeah. That's a Dutch and German thing that like kind of came into our space that we kind of adopted. Like the milk tart is an Afrikaans creation.
But that's the crazy thing.
But we love it. It's just, it's become a part of our culture.
That's the crazy thing too, like as I've been traveling, the amount of like local like baked goods, like, and it seems something so small, but it's like, yo, like the idea of breakfast is like you only get breakfast in like international type places, you know, like hotels, stuff like that, right? Because like breakfast is very much so like a European concept. So like, what's that little? It's like a little fried dough. Course, start with a K.
Cool sister.
Yes.
The sweet one.
Yes. And when I saw that, I was like, yo, this is. It could not be in a like.
Thing.
I know, but I'm saying like it's a. I feel like more baked goods are more coming from like Europeans. You feel me? Like I don't think like, and I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
Well, the
You
cook
can,
sister
you know.
particularly is like a Malay thing. It's a Malay sweet dessert.
Ah.
So there's a cook sister.
But then the
and
Malay was still
and a-
colonized by British though, right? So like I feel like they might have got it from British. Like not necessarily like got it from that, but it's like the method of cooking it. Like I don't really come across a lot of like,
I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know any British people that know what a cook sister is.
No, I'm saying like they might have. Yeah, I gotta look it up. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because for me, it's like similar to how we make amagwinya, but it's actually like, so there's a cook sister and a cook sister. One is like sweet and like it's got the syrupy thing on it and it's twisted, and one is like a dough and it's got coconut, shaved coconut all over it.
Got you.
But
Yeah. They got some over there in Bocap. I want to go get some from Bocap Deli. Is Bocap known for to be like a Cape Malay neighborhood?
that's where a lot of them were settled.
Ah,
And that's why, like, with
so
the gentrification
colorful.
that's happening up there,
Yeah.
a lot of the people that have stayed there for like decades are being displaced.
Damn, talk to me.
I don't know what to say about it. It's gentrification. They're buying up the houses that were given to people, I don't know, decades ago and like chasing them out and pushing them further and further out.
Got you.
Because now there's no space in the CBD. And they're like, well, Bokap is available.
And it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But before, Bokap used to be considered dangerous. You couldn't go there. It was unsafe. It was
believe it.
where all the... Because there were, I don't know, propaganda about how certain tribes or people are like
Hey,
dangerous.
that's how they be doing it, man. That's how they do it. They want you to be like, oh, it's dangerous. It's a place you can't go. And then they be secretly buying it up. Say all that. I'm telling you, I know the method.
That is how they do it. That's the same thing that's happening in Woodstock. Like, Woodstock used to be a long time ago, like the hood, effectively, but for like colored people. And please, your American friends mustn't come at me for saying colored. Like, this is South Africa. Colored people is like a whole race and demographic of their own. So it used to be like the hood, but for colored people. And now it's been gentrified, and there's so many office buildings and like new developments and apartment blocks and Airbnbs and offices and that's happening there, and restaurants. It's like a new business hub and like residential hub for young working professionals and digital nomads.
Yeah, that makes sense. Sheep's head. Like a seabed.
Pork cube, some onions, very simple. But when you go to like the Sotho, Tswana tribes, they like curry it almost, and they like cut it into like smaller pieces. So it's a different way of preparing it. That's why I was saying to you, like, try it here, but like when you go to Joburg again, find another place and try it again. Because different people try it.
How am I supposed to eat this?
You cut against the bone.
Oh my God. You eating this with me?
No.
Bruh, nah.
Oh.
You didn't have me order.
You said you wanted to eat a sheep's head.
Because you said I have to. You was
me?
Oh, you gotta eat sheep's head. So you just cut against this?
And you skin out the cheek. That's why they call it a smiley, because it comes like.
Smiling.
So they call it
This
a
might
smile.
be the first time my stomach actually hurt. Like.
Don't lie. Is it hurting? See? And this is the good part.
Oh my
Like
God. What is that?
the eye.
Oh God. Sheesh.
Like you cut all the way up
Fucking
in there.
evil.
Is it evil?
Oh my
So that's
God.
why, like, if
they
they
eat this in Oaxaca. They eat like sheep's head, like.
if they had done it
Big
for
head.
you weren't gonna see. There's a little bit of the tongue
is
here.
that?
That's the tongue.
I'll take some of that tongue. Hey, yeah, get that salt, baby, please.
The chillers.
Yes, that's what I need. Thank you.
See?
You
And then
know
you like
your boy
let
needs
it.
some salt.
What is this?
Nah, oh no, don't cut that. Don't cut that. Don't cut that. Don't even cut that, bro. Let me get some of that.
You wanna try the tongue?
The juice in it is good. I like sheep's head soup or cow head soup.
Yes.
Where the salt, man? That's not salt. I need salt, bro. Oh shit. I need salt and I need hot sauce, man. You know, that's how black people do it.
That's
man.
fresh chili, like, so don't go ham.
Not bad.
Was it better now?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I don't know how you do this. And my sister eats it all the time. She'll be like,
What is this?
the fatty parts of the face.
Eat this eyeball.
No.
Bro. Bro, this is tough to do. This is tough, man. The ear, like, how do you eat?
You just cut it up and eat it like meat. Oh, don't shake it.
Bro, I'm
I'm
not
wearing a
trying
white
to.
t-shirt.
I'm not trying to shake it. My hand, I'm scared.
It's
I'm
not
gonna
for
do much
everyone.
better at the tripe.
You think so?
I can eat tripe, but this, bro, the jaw is like. Bro, that's crazy. You helping eat this.
I'm not gonna do that. The culture.
I'll never disrespect.
You already did. So you're saying like the sauce is good,
Yeah, the broth is actually really good.
but like,
With some, it literally just needed a little salt, man.
yeah. Eat the ear.
I'll actually try some of that. Yeah. Just keep it in there. Don't put it on my plate.
Just cut it up. Smaller.
Bro, it's like an ear cartilage. All right, it's official. I have 8 sheep's head. I'm South African ass. Wow, 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 Samp and beans. Ooh, this food looks so good. Ooh, Dombolo. I am literally about to kill this.
Tripe.
Got you.
Favorite thing. It's a mixture of like these like towely bits, and then they have like these. How can I find it? They don't have like the tubes, like these kind of like, which is like
Yeah.
intestines.
And it don't smell bad either.
It's the same that they put in like a goosey, like, right? You see, like you can see the
You
texture.
know what though? I kind of smell it now. It kind of smells like chitlins.
Yeah. Isn't it the same thing?
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
basically.
And then that's chicken curry. Not curry, chicken stew. So that's a
This
chicken
look
stew.
really good.
And then we have oxtail. And it's like
That look fire.
falling off the bone.
And then what's this? Steamed bread.
That's steamed bread or rujeka. And then that's samp and beans. We call it umgqusho.
Alright, got you. Alright, hold on.
Okay?
Alright.
Oh, it's hot.
Steamed bread.
Yeah.
This
Grab some.
steamed bread different than the one I had at Afro Deli.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? How?
Afro Deli one was more like, I don't know how to describe it.
It's very hot. So you
Trying out the tripe first.
dip it in the sauce.
Dip it in the sauce.
And then you grab like a piece. And you grab a piece. Like that.
I think don't taste bad. Definitely need some salt.
Really? More salt.
But I feel like it just remind me of chitlins,
Is this how you guys make chitlins?
basically. But it tastes good though. And it don't like stink like chitlins be stinging. I want to try this.
Are you sure they don't clean it properly?
I think but chitlins is like pig intestine stuff instead of
Pig,
cow.
oh, okay. This is sheep.
This is sheep? Oh, that's what's up. You want some? That's it.
Thank you.
Oh, we never said what this vegetable stuff is.
That's chakalaka.
What is that?
It's like bean, carrots, and like a few other like chopped veggie things.
I like the steamed bread though. You have to
You
bring
can
some more
smell
of this
like
stuff.
you can smell like it's a little bit curried.
Yeah.
Chakalaka.
Yeah, you kind of got me on these sheep intestines.
That's my favorite thing to eat.
I would.
Oh my god, I love it. That's my favorite traditional food.
I like the savoriness of it.
Like,
Now I'm trying to stop playing though. I need this chicken. I feel like I like steamed bread a lot. Like steamed bread just tastes so, it's like rubbery, it's like bouncy and stuff.
and it catches the juice.
Yeah.
Like when you dip it, it like
Yeah.
soaks up the juice. I love
So
it.
do you like steamed bread or pop?
Steam bread. Lots of people don't like pop.
I ain't had pop yet, so I can't say, but
It's not a thing. I don't know why.
steamed bread is like, it's fun.
We don't like pop like that. Pop is very much like a Zulu thing.
Yeah, steamed bread is fun. The chicken, really good so far. Coming in for this oxtail. See what this is talking about. I wish you come back. I want some more steamed bread.
No?
Ooh. Bro, this oxtail fire.
There's a lot of food. I'm gonna try some oxtail on the Samp.
And that oxtail is fire.
See?
So what's that?
On here. It's the Samp and the beans.
Put some on there for me. So Samp is like what, corn maze?
Yes, it's that white corn. Remember I was showing you, and then you cook it with the beans. I think it's like kidney beans, but like that's why it turns a little bit brown. It's because of the beans.
Need that fiber out here, man. Damn, come back, sister. I'm almost out of steamed bread. Oh damn, I thought I saw her. Oops.
Look at you. I wasn't sure you were gonna like it.
No, it's pretty good.
I was scared.
The little aftertaste of it, the smell in the back of my throat, it do kind of fuck with me a little bit, but it ain't too bad though.
You don't want to be there when they cook it.
Hell no. Hell no.
It's not. It stinks up the whole house. But
So what's your memory of this being cooked? Your grandma used to make it or something?
yeah, all the time. So like whenever we come visit my grandmother, she'd slaughter a sheep for us.
Really?
And
where?
like they chop up the meat for a braai, chisanyama later, and like the leg of lamb for like Sunday lunch. They make the intestines that day. Then the sheep's head, because my dad used to love eating sheep's head.
Really?
They cook him up some sheep's head.
Your grandma was a cook. Your mom know how to make it? Damn. No, this little chakalaka is fire.
It just reminds me of the holidays. Like every time we go home, my grandmother would be like, "Oh, everybody's coming home." She'd buy like 2 or 3 sheep, slaughter. So when
Damn.
people arrive,
Your
you're
grandma
arriving
used to go
home.
out there and like literally cut that motherfucker. Like,
Wow.
you said what?
My grandmother was bougie as fuck. She had like,
You said she used to go out there and slaughter and shit.
no, she had workers.
Real bougie.
My grandmother hasn't like driven a car in like,
Where she live?
she's deceased now.
Oh, okay.
But when she was still alive, she hadn't driven a car in like 40 years or something.
Sorry, man, they had made the plain one, so they had to
No
make
worries.
you the creamed one quickly.
Can we
So
get more steamed bread, please?
more of how many? One more of the same or 2?
Just one, sis.
One.
I'm not gonna. So she hadn't driven like until like for like 30, 40 years because she married my grandfather and he was like, you don't ever have to lift a finger. Here's your designated driver.
Damn.
Here is your designated car. And she was a nurse. You get chauffeur driven everywhere.
What your grandpa do?
He was I don't actually know what my
Selling that
grandfather
cane.
did. No, he wasn't.
Grandpa was cutting that cane.
And then they just had like multiple helpers at the house. Like,
Yeah.
so my grandmother didn't have to like do stuff. Like, She just managed the household, but she wasn't like getting up and cooking and
Yeah.
cleaning, and she focused on her business, like on growing her business. She set up. She was a nurse, and then she trained and became like a homeopathic doctor, and like with like natural medicines and whatnot, and set up her own practice. And then she started running that, and then she started training other people. So that's all she did. Like she didn't have to be home doing chores.
Yeah.
My grandfather was a priest the whole time that I knew him, but like I think when my dad was young, I don't know what he did. He did something else, but like he became a priest later on in life, kind of thing.
He was cutting that cane, I'm trying to tell you.
Stop it.
No, that's dope.
My grandfather was a man of the Lord.
After cutting that cane. All right, let me see them. So, I've realized my favorite thing is steamed bread. See your boy sweating. Good Lord. The tripe is really good, the sheep's tripe. I ain't gonna lie, it's super savory with some hot sauce, with a little bit of salt. It's fire, but they don't really need it.
You want to try it?
The oxtail is fuego. Samp and beans, I'm realizing I want to order that every time I eat anything South African. And the chakalaka is like this. So the samp and beans almost remind me of like refried beans. But it does have like a nice like grainy kind of texture to it. And it's like chunky. The chakalaka is fire. Like it has like almost like a sweet pickle taste to it with a little bit of spice, some of that oil in there. The oxtail is curry perfection. It must be like Cape Malay influence. Cream spinach fire, might be the only vegetable you're gonna get. And the chicken. This is a wonderful South African feast.
Oh my God.
Oh God.